Hello, Dr. Dogan. God bless you. This is my presentation for educational and video. I wanted to present a presentation on Youth Villages, which is the organization that I work. And right now we are implementing the Burke-Lewin organizational model, Performance and Change for Youth Villages, which is a nonprofit organization that helps emotionally and behaviorally troubled children and their families in the Memphis metropolitan um, the area. Table of contents, I am stating my hypothesis statement. My literature review, I stated limitations of the studies, which is implications to the 21st century workplace. I'm also pursuing my own or implementing my own recommendation. We also have environmental pressures for change, internal pressures for change, the nature of the change, the framework of managing change, the implementation of change. So right now, Dr. Dogan, what we're doing is we are implementing different changes within Youth Villages model, and this is because we want to make sure that we have the best resources and the best learning models, and in order to do that we need to evaluate what kind of resources we have and how can we implement effective learning strategies. Introduction: Youth Villages is a nonprofit organization in the heart of Memphis. The mission is to help the children and families live productively in a healthy environment. The main approach centers around reinforcing the child's family and support system. My goal is to provide an organizational model for Youth Villages that would help describe an open system theory in action and to contribute in a different way. I want to focus on the transactional factors within the company, such as motivation, requirements, ability, individual needs, and benefits. We have some visuals here within Youth Villages. More visuals. The hypothesis is the Burke-Lewin system will reinforce the open system of thinking and development, in which an external climate serves as the input dimension and the employee and Youth Villages performance serves as the output dimension. Environmental pressures for change. Pressures are forced on the organization from different outside corporations, and the pressure are keeping credibility with stakeholders. Right now, based on our implementation, there are some executive perceptions of the organization that affect directly the decision-making process and strategies and the systematic methods of diagnosing children in shaping our literature system. The mission are for us to work together and provide Youth Villages with various units with mission and different strategies. More environmental pressure for change. It's going to be make leadership and management behavior more explicit by reinforcing the regulations and competencies necessary to change the organizational culture. We can establish internal and external benchmarks according to the Burke-Lewin and provide a single structure to clarify accountabilities from leadership and management system. That's something that we wanted to implement as a company. We are aware of internal pressure for change. We know the challenges and opportunities for the organization in measuring and accessing key organizational constructs related to implementation and supervision in mental health settings. We are trying to implement in the process of dissemination and sustained use of evidence-based mental health and organizational climate within the units of Youth Villages. The Burke and Lewin model is going to be helping us to influence our implementation and supervision across both organizational environments and the type of research-based practice, technologies, and performance management. More visuals. More visuals. This is the Girl Center. This is level 4. Level 4 is the level of girls with ultimate aggression and behavioral and cognitive issues. We also discussing the internal pressure for change, and we just wanted to make sure that we have a relationship between organizational culture through the effect of collective engagement, management, or communal resistance to efforts to introduce new implementation practices and organization strategies. This is the map that we as a company of Youth Villages created, which is the pressure for change, and it's going to lead to different factors as aspirations, life cycle forces, growing international interdependence, changes in demographics, shifting political dynamics, changes in societal values, introduction of removal of government regulations, and technological advances. The nature of the change is ultimately to provide resources, performance and management, and the relationships between employees and supervisors, because once we have that relationship, we can better serve our community. It does involve organizational attributes that might impact the application in mental health and the attitudes towards internal communication of several units and divisions. Effective change in youth villages. The most practical will be the introduction of new practices, assessment, measurements, and technology in the open system environment. The extent for natural interest in reinforcing the impact and the extent to which the impact most effective change. There are reasons for youth villages might not change despite the environmental pressure. We have to make sure that we have new techniques and assessment strategies, and we are aware that practices and technologies in mental health service within the organization should be organizational sensitive. In other words, they should demonstrate the unique characteristics of work and professional organization in mental health. We have more visuals. And some of these visuals are updated. There should be reasons. I believe methods and assessment should be based on the hypotheses, propositions, but it requires careful assessment, monitoring, and an analyzing process, and the process that arrive theoretical and more organizational oriented implementation, collaboration, new practices, and technology questions. I'm anticipating a different type of leadership, meaning that the problem is the organization have to go and apply new application and implementation, but it has to be, it all has to start from leadership system. I wanted to involve administration issues as well. I will use the levels of organization change and larger system to diagnose change. Visuals. We need to adapt and institute our leadership. Once we have a strong leadership team, others will follow. If we don't have a strong open communication between staff, departments, and the community, then the system will not be effective. I feel like any of the models that we can use different commissions and healthcare organizations to implement different changes as well. We also have a relation between the consulting and the consultee in the process to understand the rules. Definitely technology subsystem will improve the human resources process, the structure of the model, along with a specific implementation and management system. Evaluation will be extremely important in the assessment in order to promote decision-making process, and it is very important that we use an effective evaluation and assessment system. The data collected by the consultee is very important because counselors and teachers can use the same information to reinforce different strategies and therefore have different learning and behavioral models for the youth. Technology should be used as an integrated part of teaching. Teaching should be used as a form of electronic communication. We're going to use different types of chats and emails during conferences, webinars to promote and communicate positive constructive change. Methodology, we're trying to use a quantitative descriptive methodology. More visuals, and this is our references.